Hi, folks, and welcome back to Sci-Fi for Everyone, the channel where sci-fi gets grounded in reality, but not too much because we don't need it to be as boring as an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Today, we're shifting the focus firmly back to the science part of science fiction. You might have already guessed what this means. Yes, it's none other than Andy Weir. You'll recall I reviewed his brilliant debut, The Martian, in my first episode, so I figured it's about time I ran the ruler over Project Hail Mary. And it's topical too, given that it's set to hit cinema screens across the globe later this month with Ryan Gosling in the starring role. Time for my question. Is it better than The Martian? Well, let's launch right into it. So imagine this. You wake up in a spaceship with absolutely no idea who you are, where you are, or why you have two dead crewmates in their bunks. If that sounds like the start of a bad Saturday morning after a questionable kebab, congratulations, you're basically the main character in Project Hail Mary. Now, much later in the book, we discover the reason for this memory loss. Delicious plot twist. His memory gradually returns. Now he remembers he's Ryland Grace, former science teacher on this mission to solve the riddle behind a mysterious substance called astrophage that is causing sunlight to dim on Earth. This will lead to another ice age and the extinction of human life. In other words, it's bad. Bad enough for humanity to throw a Hail Mary pass in the final 5 seconds of regular time. No pressure island, just the survival of every living thing on Earth resting on your shoulders. Good luck with that. Now, you'll recognize Andy Weir's style immediately. Lots of science, lots of problem solving, and lots of I have absolutely no idea how to fix this, but let's try anyway moments. And when I say lots of science, I mean heaps of it. There are equations, experiments, improvised lab work, and moments where Ryland basically turns the spaceship into the world's most expensive high school science classroom. Through a series of flashbacks, we gradually learn more about the mission and what brought Ryland to this point. Now, Ryland's not alone in chasing salvation for his species. Without spoiling too much, the real magic of this book is the relationship that develops halfway through the story. It's weird, unexpected, oddly wholesome, and honestly one of the most charming friendships I've seen in science fiction. By the end of it, you might find yourself emotionally attached in a way you absolutely did not expect when the book started with space amnesia and floating corpses. The book's typically Andy Weir, hard science served up as palatable mass market entertainment with lots of humor that will make you snigger, chuckle, and belly laugh. It's hilarious and soulful and full of hope for what humanity can achieve when we set our differences aside and work together. It'll have you on the edge of your seat throughout. I couldn't stop turning the pages because Weir feeds us one little crumb after another with flashbacks so that you absolutely must keep reading to find the next piece of the puzzle. He's an absolute master at ending each chapter with a cliffhanger. So what are you going to do? Keep reading, of course. And the final plot twist is initially a, oh, why would you do that moment? But in hindsight, it's properly charming and it just fits. Well played, Andy Weir. Well played. To answer my initial question, is it better than The Martian? Well, it's a bit of yes and a bit of no. In my opinion, The Martian did a better job of ratcheting up the tension relentlessly. Make no mistake, Project Hail Mary does that very well too, but I feel The Martian has the edge in this respect. But this book fires the imagination better than The Martian. It takes us further into the science of interstellar travel and the frankly fascinating world of alien biology, which The Martian, of course, did not touch on. The aliens in Project Hail Mary are not humanoid or even remotely human shaped like you would see in a lot of sci fi movies or other books. Here we get to meet vicious microbes, the amoeba that feast on them, and I'll let you read about the others for yourself. Suffice to say, the biology is bonkers. Final verdict. I called The Martian smart, funny, and genuinely uplifting. All that applies equally to Project Hail Mary. Yes, it's a story about interstellar travel and meeting aliens, but it's also deeply human, emotional, and heartfelt. It's the real deal, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. Also, be prepared for the phrase jazz hands to mean something very different by the time you finish the book. Proper science? Check. Real personalities? Check. High stakes? Check. A cool alien? Also check. That's it for this review. If you've read Project Hail Mary, drop your favorite Ryland Grace moment or quote from the book in the comments. And if you haven't read it, go fix that right now. Remember to like and hit subscribe and stick around for more book reviews that tells it like it is, not how the author's mum insists it should be.